How are you feeling? Are you comfortable here in the SSB premises?
Yes, sir. Thank you for asking.
Good. Now, you have been here for 4 days. This is the 4th day.
Yes, sir.
So, all your tests are over.
Okay,
The
sir.
GTO's test and the psychological test. So, which test do you think you have done the best? Which was your best performance in which test?
Sir, I think I have done very well in TAT stories and I quite enjoyed that. And I also enjoyed my individual obstacles as well.
Okay, very good. Now, you are from Sonbhadra district of Uttar Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
So what do you like about your district, your place, and what are the things that you do not like?
So, first thing that I like about my district is that I am very proud to say that it is the energy capital of our country. It has about 3830 megawatt power plant from UPRVNL and Lanco.
Right.
Therefore, it has a very good facility for its residents in terms of the green colony it provides, the education it provides, and the medical facility. But coming on the fact that what I don't like about is that because of the power plant, there is also many cases of rising mercury pollution in our groundwater in our district, and also cases of air pollution. So these are the things that I do not like about my district.
Okay, both your parents are teachers.
Yes, sir.
Right? Where are they located? In Sonbhadra?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Actually in Anpara, St. Francis School,
Okay.
Anpara.
So what problems do your parents professionally they face as as teachers? What kind of problems on a daily basis do they face?
Sir, recently because of the implementation of new education policy and the government focusing on the increased activities of children, therefore there is an increased amount of work being in terms of regular conducting of examinations. So my parents always have to worry about how they would prepare their question papers, and that too in online mode, because everything is now online. So on the technical front they face this problem, and second thing is that sometimes they are not able to deal with certain children, and because of that they remain in in mental worry about how to deal with those children. So these are some of the area where they find difficulties.
You play the piano.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a little unusual because not very many people do that. So how did it become your hobby?
So actually when I was in class 3rd, so for my birthday my father had presented me a piano toy. And I quite enjoyed means whenever I played with it and the tunes coming out. So it was an electric keyboard. So my father suggested to me that if you are enjoying that much, so why not take professional classes from a music teacher. So that's how I ventured into this habit.
Okay. So how proficient are you in this?
Sir, I can play Bollywood songs, and I'm also, if you will give me a song, then I can take 5 to 10 minutes and then I can play it on my own.
Okay, that's good. Okay, you are an army aspirant. You
Yes,
wish
sir.
to join the Indian Army.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the first rank you will get when
Sir.
you finish your training, complete your training?
Yes, sir.
What would be your first rank?
Sir, if I complete my training, then I will be commissioned as lieutenant.
Okay, and what is the rank structure in the Indian Army? Starting officers rank structure,
Okay.
starting from the junior most and rising upwards.
Okay. So starting from the junior most, there is Sipai. Then
No, officers.
Okay,
officers
officers.
level.
Okay, sir. So starting from the junior most, there is lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, colonel, brigadier, major general, lieutenant general, general, and then field marshal.
Okay. Right, and when you were in school,
Yes, sir.
what was your favorite subject and why?
Sir, I quite liked physics. And my teacher, my father is also in the same school from where I have got education, and he was the physics teacher. So
Okay.
naturally, I think that played a very important factor in my life, that I liked teaching from him, and therefore I developed an interest in physics. And the second thing which I enjoyed about this subject is to understanding the natural laws that govern ourselves, and how do they play a role in our nature. So that's how I developed an interest in physics.
Okay, good. Now, can you name 5 venomous snakes? Any 5 venomous snakes found anywhere on planet Earth?
Okay. So the first thing, king cobra, anaconda,
Is anaconda a venomous snake?
Sir, I
No,
will
it's not
have to-
venomous.
Okay,
I
sir.
said venomous. Cobra, yes, cobra or king cobra.
Okay.
That's a venomous snake. Another 4 names.
Sir, I will have to look into that.
Okay, no problems. Okay. Now, can you tell me what is the difference between the North Pole and the South Pole? The 3 major differences, what are they? North Pole, South Pole.
Like in terms of definition, North Pole.
What is the general
Okay.
difference between these 2
Okay.
points, the
Okay.
North Pole and the South Pole?
So, North Pole being located in the Arctic Circle, first being the geographical difference is that North Pole is located in the Arctic Circle, whereas the South Pole is located in the Antarctic Circle.
Right.
The second thing is that in terms of physics, the magnetic field lines start from the North Pole and end at the South Pole. So, this is the second difference. And the third thing is that North Pole attracts the South Pole of the magnetic. If we keep a magnet suspended in the air, then naturally it will point towards the North Pole, while the
Okay.
South Pole will attract the North Pole of the magnet if we keep suspended in the air.
Any other difference?
So also in North Pole we witness aurora borealis, whereas in the South Pole we witness aurora australis.
Okay, right. Now, on the borders,
Okay, sir.
we use 2 terms, LAC, LOC.
Yes, sir.
So, what is the full form and what is the difference between LAC and LOC?
So LAC stands for line of actual control, and this is the line that was incorporated after Sino-India war, that is 1962 war. So it basically is present in the northeast region of our country, starting from Aksai Chin to Arunachal Pradesh. And LOC stands for line of control, and this was created because of the conflict between Pakistan and India during the 1948 war. So it basically defines the region of occupied Kashmir and the Indian territory of Jammu and Kashmir.
Which one is longer, LAC or LOC?
So LAC.
LAC. How
Yes,
long is it?
So I'm not sure about the exact length, but it starts from the Aksai Chin and it ends at the Arunachal Pradesh.
Okay. Now, talking about Pakistan,
Yes, sir.
like in India we have states. In Pakistan they call them provinces. So, can you name the provinces of Pakistan? How many provinces and what are the names?
So I have heard about Gilgit-Baltistan region. I have heard about the Sindh region, Sindh province. I have also heard about the Punjab region. They also have Punjab region, Punjab province. I'm sorry, Punjab province, Sindh province, and Gilgit-Baltistan region. So
Right.
that is all I know.
And can you name some military dictators of Pakistan, army generals
Yes, sir.
who overtook power and became presidents? There have been 4 of them. So, do you know their names?
Sir, I have heard about Pervez Musharraf because when I was old enough, I saw that news in the TV. So I have heard about Pervez Musharraf, and I do not remember the other names.
Okay, right. Okay. Now, talking of dictators, can you name a few dictators of the world and which countries were they from? Whether dead or still alive?
So the one very famous dictator was Saddam Hussein,
Right.
who ruled
Which-
Iraq.
Iraq, right?
And after his demise, Iraq also faced many problems. So he was in Iraq, Saddam Hussein, and the other was Stalin, and the third is.
Stalin was from which country?
So he was from Italy. Italy or France, I am getting confused, but he was from France or Italy, Stalin.
Okay.
And the
Any living dictator of any country who is still alive and in power?
Sir, North Korean President Kim Jong-un.
What is his name?
Kim Jong-un.
Right. Okay. Now, can you name 5 countries, any 5 countries which are in the southern part of the African continent? Any 5 countries, their names.
So, first of all, being South Africa,
Right.
Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Namibia, from where we recently transferred cheetah, and Uganda.
Okay. And have you heard of UK, the United Kingdom?
Yes, sir.
How many countries is it made of? And what are the capitals of those 4 countries?
So, UK is made up of England, Ireland, capital being Dublin,
Right.
Wales.
Right.
The fourth, I am not able to recall.
Okay. Right. Can you name a few national parks of India? 5 national parks. Where are they located? In which state?
Yes, sir.
And which animal do they protect?
Okay, sir.
Any 5 national parks of India.
So, Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh, and it protects cheetah. Then we have Ranipur Tiger Reserve. It has been recently declared as National Park in Uttar Pradesh, and it is famous for protecting tigers. We have Katirnika National Park in Uttar Pradesh, and it is also providing protection to tigers. Then we have Hemis National Park in Jammu and Kashmir for providing protection to snow leopard. And then we have Manas National Park in Assam for providing protection to rhinoceros.
Okay. Right. Okay. Now, there is an island which is part of Indian territory called the Sentinel Island.
Okay,
So, where is it located and what is so unusual about it?
So, it is located in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and we are still not able to go to that island because their residents are so excluded from ourselves that if we get into that island, then the government fears that the tribals which are residing in the Sentinel Island, they might get several diseases which will cause them to which will cause their life in danger. So, Sentinel Island has been strictly prohibited from the reach out of the nationals of our country. So, we cannot go into that island.
Right. Now, every country has some special forces.
Yes, sir.
So, can you name 2 international special forces, commando forces, international, and 3 of our own? 3 Indian and 2 international elite special forces.
So, first being Federal FBI of USA, Federal Bureau of Investigation.
FBI is an intelligence agency. I am asking about commando forces, specialist forces. FBI is not, it is a intelligence agency.
Okay, sir. So, Financial Action Task Force.
No, even that is not that is a body which regulates, which monitors financial transactions.
Like commando
forces.
Okay.
Right.
US Navy Sea. I think that
one is Navy SEALs. That is an American special force. That is one. Any other? All the countries that have large armies have special forces. So, one you have named, one more. Okay, let's forget about that. What about Indian special forces?
So,
can you name 3 of them?
So, like Central Armed Police Force, this type of.
CRPF is not a special force, but CRPF itself has a commando force. So, what is the name of that force? Any idea? So, Indian Army has a commando force. Your CRPF has one. Mumbai Police has one. Airforce has one. Even Navy has one. So, can you recall their names? Are you aware of that? Okay, don't worry.
We have Parachute Regiment.
Right, that is of the Indian Army.
Then
Para
we have,
regiment.
then we have Grenadiers.
Grenadiers is a regiment of the Indian Army. It is not a special force. It is a regular regiment. Okay. But don't worry about it. Okay. Can you name a few countries that touch the equator, or that the equator passes through?
Yes, sir.
The 13 countries that the equator goes through. It's an imaginary line on the globe, but it touches 13 countries. So, which are those 13 countries?
So,
can you name a few? 2, 3, 4, 5?
Sir, Brazil.
Okay.
Brazil, and in in African continent, we have Congo. We have Central African Republic, and then Malaysia. Malaysia, and then we have Indonesia.
Okay, don't worry. Now, Shri Narendra Modi,
yes, sir,
he carried out an initiative called the Prasad scheme.
Yes, sir.
This was some years back. So, what is this scheme about? The name of that scheme is Prasad scheme. Sir. So, can you give something?
Yes, sir.
Some details about that.
Sir, the Prasad scheme was launched in order to protect our cultural heritage and to promote tourism in our temples, and also to develop their infrastructural setup. So this Prasad scheme comes under Ministry of Culture, but Ministry of Tourism is also actively participating in it, so that we can develop our cultural heritage and we can promote tourism in our temples which are located in the southern part or in the northern part of India, and this will also help in developing the local economy of that region.
Okay. Now, very soon we'll host a international event, the ICC World Cup cricket.
Sir.
So, can you give some details about that? How many countries will take part? How many matches would be held? And what is very unusual about this World Cup? Something very different from the previous World Cups. So, can you give some details?
So, although I'm not a big fan of cricket, but as far as I am following the newspapers, I am aware that that at present time Asian Cup is going on, and there was also match held between India and Pakistan, and it is also for the first time that India will be hosting ICC World Cup. So this is one unique point about it.
Okay. Right. Okay. There's a thing called Chandrayaan 3.
Yes,
it was in the news recently. It still is in the news.
Yes, sir.
So what is that, and can you give some details about it? Some basics about Chandrayaan 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, Chandrayaan 3 was ISRO's third attempt to land on moon after the unsuccessful launching of Chandrayaan 2 in 2019. So after 4 to 5 years of hard work, Chandrayaan 3 was successfully launched on 14 July 2023 from Sriharikota Island, Andhra Pradesh, and it comprises of Vikram as lander and Pragyan as a rover. So this mission helps ISRO in collecting about the mineral information about the presence of water. Also, Chandrayaan 3 makes India the fourth country to land on moon and the first country to have a soft landing on southern pole of the moon. And this pole of moon is still unexplored. And the third thing is that our scientists were able to conduct this launch in a very minimal budget, about 600 crores, which is about a budget of a Hollywood film. So, and the point of landing has been named by our Honorable Prime Minister as Shiv Shakti Point.
Okay. Now, recently, just a few days ago, the G20 summit in Delhi got concluded.
Yes, sir.
What were the highlights? Can you give 3-4 highlights of that
Yes,
summit in Delhi,
yes,
which
sir.
just concluded a few days ago?
Sir, there are 5 major key takeaways that India took from the G20 summit. The first thing was that the New Delhi Declaration, which was about 164 pages long, was able to garner 100% consensus, which has happened for the first time in the history of G20 summit.
Right.
And this was only possible after 200 hours long of negotiation and 300 bilateral meetings, as our foreign external ministers informed. The second major achievement was the permanent membership to African Union, which was spearheaded by India only. So this was a correction in the history that we could not give such an important position to African Union, but after the cooperation of India, it was given. The third thing was the G20 Summit 2023 witnessed the largest turnout of leaders. There were 43 leaders from 19 nationals and the African Union and the European Union, plus other permanent guest invitees such as Spain. So it was the largest turnout of leaders. The fourth thing was India was able to create a new template for G20 as it witnessed people's participation that has never been happened. India was able to participate 15 million people which are directly involved in either organizing the meetings. Also, the meetings were organized in 60 different cities. So G20 was not a New Delhi area, but it was launched in other cities as well. So people's participation was also made possible because of the India initiative.
Okay. Now, the Indian Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, every month he addresses the Indian public through a radio message called Man Ki Baat.
Yes, sir.
In that last Man Ki Baat, what points did he cover? Can you name 3-4 points which he talked about in his last Man Ki Baat?
Sir, in his last Man Ki Baat, his main focus was on the youth of India, which were related to the sports field, because Neeraj Chopra has been able to win a gold medal in World Athletic Championship, and he created a history. So he first congratulated him, and he also encouraged the children to come out in sports, and he also advised the parents to support their children in sports field. And he also gave an example of a Lucknow girl who started very young as a archery, and now she is doing very well. Second, he also congratulated Mr. Prag for his spectacular match against Magnus Carlsen. The third thing is he appreciated the toy sector of our country, because our country has been able to reduce about 500 crores of export from China. So he congratulated toy sector. He also emphasized upon the highlights of G20 and how we as a country promoted our cultural heritage, like cultural toys from different parts, tribal handcrafts during the summit. So these were all the things that he covered.
Okay. Now, Shri Modi has been in power as the PM for about 9 years, a little more than 9 years, almost you can say 9.5 years.
Yes, sir.
How do you rate his performance as the Prime Minister? Has he been, in your view, has he done something good for the country? How do you rate his performance?
Sir, I feel there are very good things that he has done, and then there are certain sectors in which he can be more proactive. Like, first of all, he promoted the startups in the defense sector, and he also encouraged the private sectors coming up in the defense sector, so that our country can be sufficient in defense manufacturing. So our imports has been readily reduced from countries such as US and France. So this is one good initiative. Second thing is his focus on the scientific development. Because of his positive approach, our scientists were able to launch Chandrayaan 3 and also Aditya L1 mission, and are heading for Gaganyaan mission next year. The third thing is he has managed to eliminate Chinese dumping products in our country in electronic sector, in which India has about $100 billion of potential, and in toy sector as well. So these are also his focus on our cultural heritage, which is in my opinion is a very strong soft power that India can use to become a global leader. And the fourth is in his emphasis to balance the international institution by giving India the permanent membership in UNSC. So he has been very vocal about that, and also he has taken a very strong stance against Khalistan. For example, he snubbed the Canadian President Justin Trudeau and took a very strong stance. So these are his major achievements. But I think, in my opinion, our scientists can be encouraged more by increasing their stipend and increasing their facility, and also our country has very large potential for research and development. So if we want to see ourselves as a developed country by 2047, so if our government focus more on research and development, then this will be a very positive step towards economy.
Okay. Now, can you name 3 major events, national events, which have either already taken place or are about to take place in India in the year 2023? This year,
Yes, sir.
3 major events of this year within the country, national events.
Yes, sir. So the first one was the historic Chandrayaan-3 launch on 14 July. The second one was launch of Aditya L1 mission, the most awaited mission for 3 years. And the third one was, of course, G20 summit.
Okay. Actually, and 3 major international events of the current year.
So the first one was that India is going to host International Cricket Cup. So this is an international event that India is going to witness. The second thing is that recently India has been appointed as chairman of Asian Development Bank. So this was a major international event. And the third one was Indian Asian Summit, which took place 2 weeks back.
Okay. Now, I'll ask you 10 or 12 rapid round questions.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
ask the question, you answer it as soon as you hear that.
Yes, sir.
What is the full form of NDRF?
So National Disaster Response Force.
Okay. What is the intelligence agency of Israel known as?
So Mossad.
Okay. The opposition alliance, India, I.N.D.I.A. What is the full form?
So Indian National Development. Sorry, sir, I don't remember.
Okay. Now, what is the special force of CRPF called?
So Assam Rifles.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. What is the name of the government scheme for promoting games and sports in
Hello
India?
India.
Okay. Right. Now, which Islamic terrorist organization operates from the region of Nigeria in Africa, which is active in that region? What is the name of that organization?
Sorry, sir, I don't remember.
Okay. Ayushman Bharat, that medical scheme,
Yes, sir.
covers a family up to what amount of money?
So 5 lakh.
5 lakhs. Okay. There's a thing, industrial machinery called JCB,
Yes, sir.
which we use, an excavator and all that. So what is the full form of JCB?
I
Do not
don't know, sir.
Okay, there's a train called Gatiman Express. So which 2 stations does it run between?
Sorry, sir, I have no information.
Okay. Now, during COVID time,
Yes, sir.
there used to be a test called RT-PCR. What is the full form of RT-PCR?
I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, one last question. The Yom Kippur War, there was a war by this name. It was fought between which 2 countries?
I'm sorry, sir, I will have to look.
Okay, chaliye. Thank you, Pratiksha. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. 13 countries in Equator, Ecuador, Colombia, Brazil, Sao Tome, Principe, Gabon, Congo, आपने बोला था. Okay, Uganda, Kenya, Somalia, Maldives, Indonesia and Kiribati. Okay, venomous snakes, cobra, crate, viper, rattlesnake, mamba, black and green mamba, copperhead, inland taipan, puff adder, cottonmouth, ये सब boom slang, coral snake, these are venomous snakes. Provinces of Pakistan, Sindh, Balochistan, Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Northwest Frontier Province and a region called POK,
Okay, sir.
जिसको हम POK बोलते हैं, they call it Azad Kashmir.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. उसके बाद military dictators of Pakistan, Ayub Khan, Yahya Khan, Ziaul Haq and Pervez Musharraf. Dictators of the world, Idi Amin of Uganda, Saddam Hussein of Iraq, Fidel Castro, Cuba, Kim Jong-il, आपने बता ही दिया था, North Korea, Robert Mugabe, Zimbabwe, Stalin, Russia, not Italy, not France. Okay, Prasad scheme you were able to answer. It is the full form is Pilgrimage, Rejuvenation and Spiritual Augmentation Drive. It is to develop and identify pilgrimage sites all across India, enriching religious tourism. These are the aims. Development of selected pilgrimage destinations, and the fourth aim is to pave the way for enhancing religious tourism in India. Okay. Ranks in the army you were able to tell correctly. Difference between North and South Pole. North Pole is a water body, Arctic Sea, it is not land. South Pole is land mass. Both are covered with snow, but North Pole is a water body. It's a point on a water body, Arctic Ocean. South Pole is a land mass, number one. North Pole is inhabited. People live there, Eskimos and some tribals, American and Canadian tribals live there. But South Pole is not, nobody lives there. Scientific expeditions go there, they spend some time, carry out a research and return back. But there is no permanent resident in the Arctic, in the Antarctica, South Pole. And the third difference is North Pole is home to polar bears and South Pole is home to penguins. Okay, उसके बाद आपसे और क्या मैंने पूछा था? What other questions? हैं जी?
Commando, international
Commando. Okay, one you were able to answer. Navy SEALs. उसके बाद और कौन से? Grom of Italy, right? Sierra Medical of Israel, right? SAS, Special Air Service of Britain, right? Indian Parachute Regiment, Para Commandos. That is one. Infantry की जो battalions होती है Indian Army की, they have a Rashtriya Rifles is not a para commando. It's a military unit, but not a para commando, not a special force. उसके बाद हो गया infantry battalion में होती है घातक एक platoon, उसको घातक बोलते हैं, तो that is a commando platoon. CRPF की जो वो है उसका नाम है कोबरा. मुंबई पुलिस का है Force 1, एयरफोर्स का है गरुड़, नेवी का है मार्कोस, मरीन कमांडोज. तो ऐसे बहुत सारी हैं. अच्छा, डिफरेंस बिटवीन LOC एंड LAC यू वर सम पार्ट ऑफ इट यू वर एबल टू आंसर. डिस्टेंसेस यू वर नॉट. LOC against Pakistan is about 788 kilometers and LAC is about 4,000 kilometers, 4,200 something. It's very long. Okay, and LOC is only in the region of JNK, whereas LAC, it starts from Aksai Chin, which you were able to answer correctly, and it ends at Arunachal Pradesh. हाँ, तो it goes through various states. Okay, उसके बाद क्या पूछा था आपने आपसे? National Parks of India, they have large number of national parks. There are about 27 of them. Right, so you were able to answer this, so we will not touch this point. उसके बाद और क्या पूछा था मैंने आपसे? Last मन की बात. These are the points that he covered in his मन की बात. So if you answer 3-4 of these, cover these 3 or 4 of these points, that will be a very good performance. अच्छा, उसके बाद what else did I ask you?
So before my SSB, I need to look at the last Man Ki Baat. So
Exactly. Exactly. I had asked you a question on World Cup cricket.
Yes.
It is a 13th edition of World Cup. यानी 13वीं बार अब ये होगा जो इंडिया में है. And it is organized by ICC. What are the dates? 5th October it is starting the first match. 19th November it will end. Number of teams, 10 countries are taking part, including India. What is so unique about it? It is the first World Cup which is solely being organized within one country, that is India. All the matches will be played in India only. How many matches? 48 matches. What is the format of this World Cup? Round robin and knockout stages. and the final match will be played in Narendra Modi Stadium at Ahmedabad. So this was another thing which we had talked of. Okay, और क्या पूछा था मैंने questions?
So
rapid round अभी बता देता हूँ मैं आपको. Okay, what was the outcome of G20? You were able to answer it very correctly. National events भी आपने बता दिया था, मैं आपको बता देता हूँ और points. I can't find that sheet of paper. अच्छा, और क्या आपने यहाँ भी क्या पूछ रहे थे आप? रैपिड राउंड वाला, हाँ रैपिड राउंड वाला, वेयर इज दैट? ओके, NDRF आपने बता दिया, इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसी ऑफ इजराइल बता दिया था. उसके बाद CRPF का कोबरा, ठीक है, दैट इज़ अ कोबरा फोर्स. इंडियन नेशनल डेवलपमेंट इंक्लूसिव अलायंस, दैट इज़ द फुल फॉर्म. ओके, और क्या पूछा था? Scheme for promoting games and sports, that is Khelo India, right? Which Islamic terrorist organization operates from Nigeria? Boko Haram. That is the name. Ayushman Bharat, 5 lakh rupees per family per year. Okay. JCB, Joseph Cyril Bramford. This is the name of the, it's a British guy, this person. He was the one who developed this, and now this JCB excavators are used worldwide, including India. Okay. और क्या पूछा था? RT-PCR, reverse transcription polymerase, what is that? CR, ये मुझे भी चेक करना पड़ेगा.
So I'll Google it.
Yom Kippur War was fought between Israel and a collection of Middle Eastern countries like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Yemen also took part. One country against so many countries.
Achha, what did the 6-day war like?
There have been 2 wars which Israel has fought with other countries. One is Yom Kippur War, the other is 6-day war, 6-year war. तो 2 wars है. तो Yom Kippur is Israel versus several countries. तो ये questions आपसे पूछे थे.